Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. The guy opposite me is Tim, and this is The Second Legacy, and thank you for stopping by. Well, it's Monday, beautiful people, The Second Legacy, so we have to come back and start it off right. We've got Davey Hogg clips, hiding behind Little Mermaid. We have other things going on. You're going to love every second of this. Make sure that you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. And this content is brought to you by LAS Concealment. And the content today is brought to you by LAS Concealment. And if you're in the market for a holster for your favorite freedom tool, LAS Concealment is worth a look. They have everything that you could imagine, all molded from Kydex to your said freedom tool. Everything is fit directly to that model for a superior comfort and safety. They have inside and outside the waistband options, multiple designs, all sorts of different colors, and they are tested by the world's most elite special forces. Make sure you check it out. There's a link in the description box below, and thank you so much to LAS Concealment for making this content possible. All right, so we got that out of the way. Tim, I'm excited. How are you? There's Davey on the horizon, so you know how I get.
Yeah.
But the important things. How are you doing, Tim? How's Monday for you?
It's doing great. You know, looking like a beautiful week. Just, yeah, good stuff. You know, we're going into the fall. Things are cooling off a bit.
Oh,
that global warming's going to go away for a few months, and it's going to be awesome.
You stop. Don't trigger people this early on a Monday.
Okay,
it's not worth it, Tim. They need to have an easy way into their Monday to start them off right. You know how this works. I mean, like, look at me, for example. I am facing down a hurricane in my new Florida compound, and I didn't say a word about global warming and how if I drove an electrical vehicle, this wouldn't happen.
That's true. See? If you would have just driven an electrical vehicle in Florida, you would not be facing this climate change right now that's barreling for you. Anyway, so.
You know what, Tim, would have been helpful?
Yeah.
If they had just said it. If they had just told me that it was a situation in some sort of crisis and we could have easily averted it. If only they had had some sort of news report or something to where they would have told us. It would have been helpful.
I've been trying to get rid of my gas stoves, just working hard to come up with the money.
Not the Franklin stove.
Yeah.
Not the Franklin stove. Oh, it's every household. But you know what?
Yes.
Enough of that. Let's dive in, Tim, because you know how episodes, it's like a theme on this channel. Episodes that start with a Davey Hogg mockery always go really well. They always do. So without further ado, let's start off right. Mr. Producer, could you throw up the Davey Hogg clip for us?
Mr. Hogg, thank you so much for being at the National March here. I just wanted to follow up with you one last time. Do you have any
copyrighted music? This is copyrighted music, and if you're a Disney lawyer, you can't use this song anywhere.
Awesome. Did you have any comment on gun control going against the idea of civil rights for people of color in our country? If you have no comment, that's cool too. Why are you playing copyrighted music? Thank you.
I could set up camp on this forever. Oh, it's so good. So you recognize that song, right, Tim?
I don't.
Oh, well, I'm going to help you out because I've got younglings in the house. That is a song from The Little Mermaid. It's the little crab singing Under the Sea.
So time
I just want to throw that out there.
I mean, you got to give Davey credit. I mean, at least he's picking copyrighted music from recent movies, right?
No. He is so solid. Yeah. Under the Sea. I mean, I would argue that's some crab cultural appropriation myself, but
he looks like a character out of a cartoon.
I mean, let's just be real. So, in this clip, not only is the future of all gun control movement, the youth, Gen Z, not having it anymore, hiding behind a simple question, utilizing what I'm sure some lawyers said to do, Little Mermaid songs.
Yeah. Well,
we're also going to go down the... No, please continue.
No, he definitely had that on the ready, man. It's like,
He was good.
Look, there's a program group.
Drum McGraw.
He's like, this is copyrighted music. If you have an attorney, you're going to tell you not to use it. Don't get out of my way. I got don't threaten me. Such a dweeb, dude. He's such an idiot.
Dweeb. Yes. Dweeb. That's the best word. And so for you guys not in the YouTube sphere or the media production, what he's trying to do right there, because it makes no sense out of context. What he's trying to do is he's trying to sabotage anything that gets captured on that video by basically flagging the algorithms to say, oh, you're copywriting and you're misusing copywritten music. That's why he did that. So if you don't know that, it's kind of weird for someone just to go, this is copywritten music. Even the reporter was like, okay. So anyway,
I know it doesn't make a difference because, and the other thing is like that only works in certain circumstances, right? So
exactly.
Oh, you're not going to get monetized for pointing me out to be the fraud that I am. You know, it's like, We don't care.
Okay.
It's all over Twitter now. Nobody cares
Done.
about your copyrighted music. You can't pull those videos down. It's not like
It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he's such an idiot. I mean, yeah, if we try to use copyrighted music in a video and then monetize it, well, then they'll just turn the monetization off. But they also have tools in YouTube to strip the music out.
Right. Like it's so comical
You're such
because
an
this
idiot.
is something this isn't like 10, 15 years ago where it's the Wild West of YouTube and you don't know the copyright infringements, you don't know fair use, you don't know all these different pieces that we know now. It's like, dude, did some lawyer tell you this and think that this was going to be your shield?
Probably,
The Little Mermaid?
probably wasn't a Gen Z lawyer.
No, that's where it went wrong, Tim, because Gen Z is going to lead the way.
They are.
And they are. And I've just got a hypothetical, Tim. What do you think's going to happen when Davey starts not looking like a teenager anymore? It's kind of whole shtick is us young people. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know when he's
I'm concerned.
70. We're going to ban guns. Gen Z's here to save the day. It's like nobody cares about you Gen Z anymore, dude.
It's like, yeah, no one cares, dude. We're on the next gen. You
Yeah.
only had like 4 or 5 years to capitalize, and you didn't.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good way to start it off because now we got to jump over to another gun control organization, Moms Demand Action, Tim. This is just all of your happy trigger points for a Monday.
Oh, boy.
This is the good stuff.
Can't wait to see what
Good
they've done.
stuff. So, well, they got on the tweet machine. They got on the tweet machine over the weekend. Check this out. Gun control groups slammed over claim Kyle Rittenhouse not held accountable for a 2020 shooting despite a trial. So what they did, Tim, and this is so crucial. Let's set this up properly. I don't want to, nothing biased here. Mr. Producer, could you throw up the original Moms Demand Action tweet? 3 years ago today, at a protest of the police shooting of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin, 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse, who was openly carrying an AR-15 style rifle, shot and killed Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber and wounded another man, and Rittenhouse was not held accountable. Now, before we even get into the obvious there, Tim, what do you think the reaction was on this?
I would imagine they got just lit up. Because, I mean, even people that are fence sitters on this, like, well, wasn't there a trial?
Yeah, I mean, wasn't it like a highly publicized thing? Like, I feel like there was a huge litmus test created by the media across the spectrum about how AR-15s and 17-year-olds, and every time they went down a certain road, it turns out it was legal every single time. Like, It was a completely legal action for them to be carrying a rifle at under the age of 18 because Wisconsin law.
Yep.
And it was self-defense, as was ruled by the judge, and there was also a jury and stuff, and we watched it. I don't know, how long was that trial? 2 months?
Yeah.
I mean,
and I'm pretty sure it ended in an acquittal, which means not guilty.
Yeah.
And that means
that does.
Yeah. You've been judged by a jury of your peers, and you're free to go. But not if you're a Marxist organization that kind of follows the ideology of, well, you show me the man, I'll show you the crime, and it doesn't matter what, we're just going to go ahead and put people in prison because we don't like their politics. How very Stalinist of you, Mom Demand Action. I mean, that's so fitting.
It's very fitting. That's exactly right. You know what, Tim? I knew you'd be in the right headspace for this. I love it. So that's the big thing that got me. I mean, obviously, you go through all the different nuances of that case. He was innocent across the board in every single one of them. There was not one thing where he was outside the law. Now, was it advisable? That's a different question. But was it legal? Yeah, it was legal. Someone's trying to kill you. You can defend yourself.
Yeah.
Basics. But it turns out that he was not held accountable, Tim.
No.
And, I can't speak past the elephant in the room, but I think it's interesting that Moms Demand Action would put this post out about Kyle Rittenhouse, who went through a trial, who had due process, and turned out to be found innocent by a jury of his peers and a judge. But they're pushing red flag laws with zero due process, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
perfectly fine.
Keep in mind, these are walking hypocrites. This is how they conduct business. This is how they've always conducted business. They'll say one thing out of one side of their mouth in front of one group of people. They'll say the exact opposite out of the other side of their mouth in front of another group of people. They just don't care. All they care about is their political agenda. How can we basically control you? And that's what this boils down to.
100%.
Yep.
That's exactly what this is. And if you look at every single thing that we've been through in the past 2.5 years, let's just stay in the Biden administration. Like, we don't even have to go back to Obama or Clinton or anything else. Just in the Biden administration, the entire thing has been about bending rules, bending executive actions in order to achieve gun control around Congress just because they want that gun control. they're circumventing the entire system because their needs are so much better and they are so much wiser than you. And that archaic system, after all, it was written by terrible, terrible people, Tim.
And white
terrible
powdered
people.
wigs too. I mean,
oh my
they're
goodness
just so
gracious.
old that they had these wigs they wore.
Man, Tim, they had to actually spray stuff on there to keep lice out of their hair. I know. They are that
Barbarians.
gross.
We can't trust anything those people did.
No, I mean, the dudes wore tights. I mean, before it was cool.
Yeah. It was cool, then it wasn't that it's cool. It wasn't that it's cool. But anyway, yes, you're right.
It's a thing. It's a thing. But yeah. So they're evil, and all that due process protections. Oh, that's not good. Well, Tim, you know what? I think it's only fair that we follow up with a subsequent tweet. The next one that they sent out right after that. You're gonna have fun with this one, Mr.
Boy.
Producer. Can you throw that up there? Since then, armed demonstrations, largely driven by far-right mobilization and reactions to left-wing activism, have continued. A study by Everytown found that armed demonstrations are violent or destructive 6 times more often than unarmed demonstrations. Okay. This is just a mostly peaceful protest. Don't mind the fires in the background and the buildings burning down because they weren't armed. They didn't have guns. They just had torches and flames and matches and gasoline.
Beating people in the streets. I love this. Largely driven by far right.
Far right.
In reactions to left wing. Not so far left wing. Just regular left wing activism, but burning towns, pillaging, looting, murdering, beating. Yeah, they're just such, just good left wing activism. It's just, nobody ever said a protest should be peaceful. Right?
Exactly. That was CNN quote, Andrew Cuomo. Happened.
You got it.
I'm just saying, actually happened. But Tim, listen, they had skateboards and they had umbrellas and they had bricks. They were not armed. And they
Except
had
for the
Molotov cocktails. They were not armed because only thing that constitutes any type of weapon is obviously an AR-15 because that is the bane of all existence. And those far-right evil militias and those far-right mobilizations, they're just responding to the good-hearted left-wing activism. And, I got to say it, Tim. This is from Everytown. So it's the study's definitely not biased.
No, never. They're straight shooters. One thing I thought was interesting about the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing, the armed guy that tried to shoot him with the Glock. Yeah, he disarmed him. Too soon?
I'm gonna bypass that because I feel like if I laugh, we'll get in trouble.
We
Because
will.
right now, if I just let it lay, if I just let it lay there,
there's no hidden
the
meaning.
Star
I was
Wars
just
arm.
no. I mean, that was from the trial.
No, that was a Star Wars reference.
Yeah.
It was a Star Wars reference where they cut the arm off of the bad guy. It was just laying on the ground. That's what you were referencing.
Oh, we're probably
Because
gonna get canceled.
We're in trouble. But it's okay. It was a good joke. I appreciated it. I just want to let you know that. Well, let me share with you some of the responses here, Tim, because I think we need to move on before we get fired. Yeah. So let's go here. Let me take a little gander here. So of course and this is the tweet or the clip that's up there. Even though a Wisconsin circuit judge ruled in 2021 that Rittenhouse was not guilty of all charges relating to the deaths of 2 men and the injury of others, Mom Demand Action claimed justice hadn't been done in the post on Twitter, and it was on the 3-year anniversary. Well, Twitter has become so good and so happy, and they were ready. So check this out. This one is the medical research tweet, Mr. Producer. Medical research and conservative X-user Forrest Garner responded to the post stating, quote, "He was held accountable. There was a trial and everything. It was in the news. The verdict based on the actual evidence was that he was not guilty of any crime." I love Twitter so much. And there's another one, by the way. This is right up your alley right here. Pro-Second Amendment account Texas Gun Rights replied to Mom's Man Action saying, "Cope and seethe."
That's like something FPC would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just F go home.
This is what I love about the left, though. I got to point this out, right? So they'll prosecute you, persecute you, take you to court, run you through the ringer, and if you come out victorious and defend yourself successfully and be jury finds you not to be guilty, they're just going to say, well, the jury didn't do their job. You're still guilty. Justice was not served because they didn't get the outcome they wanted.
Exactly.
They don't care about equality. They don't care about the jury
theirs.
system. They don't care about anything that tries to assure equality as best as we possibly can. They just throw that out the window because they didn't get the decision they wanted. You're just guilty. Therefore, you can't have a job.
Correct.
You can't have a credit card. You can't do anything. We're going to just run you into the ground for the rest of your life, even though you're not guilty of anything, according to a jury of your peers and the law.
Correct. And the jury of their peers go off of what the judge guides them as the law. This thing that's passed by legislatures. I know, it's archaic, it's weird, it's not just mob rule. But it turns out that when you don't get the outcome you want, that doesn't mean you didn't get justice and you need to seek justice. That means that justice was given and you just happen to not have the same opinion. There is a slight difference, Tim.
Yeah.
Slight. Minuscule, but slight. But you know what, Tim? I think we started this off really solid with a lot of bravery and a lot of just machismo from Davey Hogg. I think it's only fair to show you what Moms Demand Action reacted, because they did react. They did react to the response. Here it is. After a multitude of angry replies hit the original post, Moms Demand Action turned off the ability for general users on the site to comment on it, only allowing accounts it follows or mentions in its posts to reply. So they got smoked so bad on the tweets, or formerly known as tweets, now on the X.
They got X'd.
They just turned off comments, and they only wanted to, they got X'd. They only wanted to hear from people that they agreed with. I'm personally shocked. I didn't see that coming. I thought they would open debate.
Yeah, because,
and welcome debate.
Leftists are just such reasonable people that you can have a conversation with, and you can cite facts and statistics and defend your position, and they're always respectful. They don't call you names.
Absolutely.
They don't do anything like that. They don't try to destroy your entire life because they may disagree with you. They don't try to get you unemployed or any of that. They're just good, wholesome people. They're just going for justice.
They are pursuing justice.
They're lunatics, man. I mean, it truly is a mental illness. These people just aren't right in the head, and they don't play well with others. They never have. Everything the far left has ever taken control of in terms of a government, they've destroyed, and it always winds up with millions of people dead, who are been disarmed. So,
well, that's the prerequisite, Tim.
Yeah.
But you know what? You've got me like this close to playing Little Mermaid. I'm uncomfortable. I need to go to my happy space.
Yeah, I should probably play that so we can't air these videos anymore. Just because I don't know. It's what the left does. It has to be right.
Put up your Little Mermaid shield. It's all good.
You can't
hide behind a prepubescent girl.
Go away, big bad gun person. Little Mermaid.
Big bully. No. Pull out the prepubescent teenage mermaid, mythical creature. To hide behind.
Oh well. Anyway, thanks for the laugh, Davey Hogg. You're worth at least a good belly roll, a good chuckle every now and then. Just all you gotta do is follow him on Twitter if you like. You might cry when you read some of the stupidity that he posts because so many people seem to follow along with him, but whatever. We'll cover Davey Hogg again in future episodes because the guy is just gold for content. If you guys would like to be part of our call-in show, there is a link down below. Follow that link and we'll get you on the show. We'll have a great conversation. Thank you for watching The Second Legacy, and we'll talk to you guys soon.